Hello, boss kids. Welcome to episode about credit. This is me, Nala Akpan, back. And for someone who hasn't been here in a minute,
Jalen Hardiman, I'm back once again, guys.
yeah, just the two of us, the OGs, right? Today we're going to be talking about credit. So, first of all, what is credit? Credit's something that you hear about a lot. It's really important for getting a house, getting a car, getting an apartment. You can't do anything without credit.
That's exactly the answer I wanted.
Right?
Yep, credit is important for anything in life you want to do.
Yeah, and it's kind of scary because, like, as a kid, I remember being like, I never want a credit card. I refuse to get a credit card because I don't want to be in debt. But you have to get a credit card to do anything. You have to have credit to do anything. And so we're going to teach you how to do credit well. So first, what is credit? Credit is basically a loan that the bank gives you when they issue you a card, and you're expected to pay it back monthly. So they pay for things that like may be a little too expensive to you at the moment, and you pay it in advance with the credit card, and then you pay it off at the end of the month.
Write that down, write that down!
Right? And this can get a lot of people into a trap because it seems like it's free money. A lot of college students, a lot of kids will be like, oh, it's free money, right? It's not my money. So they'll like run it up. They'll run it up, they'll max it out, they'll go crazy with it. That's not how you should be using your credit
All
card.
because they think, oh, I don't have to pay it until the end of the month.
Exactly, right? And that's the wrong mindset to have when it comes to credit. You should not be thinking of it as in this is free money that I don't have to pay off. You should be thinking about it as I'm doing this to build my credit score up higher. And your credit score is how the car insurance, these people, how they trust how trustworthy you are.
It's not going to be easy. It's going to be really hard.
Because with like payments like this, like your car, your house, your apartment, they're expecting you to pay this back consistently. They're expecting to see you pay your stuff monthly as well. If you can't pay off your credit card debt, they're going to think that they can't trust you. So this is their way of saying that they can trust you. So you need to start using your credit as a way to show that you can pay things off. So don't go into it being like, I can pay this off later. Don't buy things with your credit card unless you can pay it off immediately. You should already have the money to pay it off. You shouldn't wait till you have the money. You should already have the money to pay it off. You're just using your credit card to build the credit score up. So pay for it with your gas, right? Buy your gas, buy a snack, something like that, something cheap, and then pay it off at the end of the month. Don't miss a date. Pay it off at the end of the month. Okay. Don't.
Like for me, I usually I don't know, it's weird. I'm a coffee person, so I use my credit card often to buy coffee every morning. But through that, I've seen how expensive that habit can get a coffee every morning. But it's just about finding something really small to be able to buy and pay off it's sort of like a game to just keep increasing your credit score. So no matter what, you always have to know that you do have that money. It has to be something that you have that money for. But I know a lot of people use a credit card for emergencies that they don't necessarily have the money right now and they just have to use it. So that's it's a good thing about credit, but you still do have to pay it back, and then you have a contingency plan in your wallet, which is a credit card.
Yeah, and so when it comes to those times where you have to do more than you actually can afford at the time because some emergency happened, how can you get back to getting in good credit? This happens a lot when people have to suddenly pay for medical bills. You live in America, it's not free healthcare. You have to pay things off.
That sucks.
So you get into a car accident, you weren't expecting it. The way you fix that and the way you work towards it is by paying off your monthly bills, okay? Every time, small things like that, pay it off. Every monthly. Your monthly amount that you have to pay it off, do it in full.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And you can pay the monthly minimum, but you have to remember that there is interest added on. So if you don't pay it off in the whole and you're just paying the monthly minimum, in the end, it still ends up being a lot of money and you're not necessarily saving money. That's how like people start living check to check because their money is spread through a lot of places and they don't necessarily have enough.
Good point.
Yeah. And once again, things can happen. And so while what we're telling you here is the best case scenario is that you're able to pay it off monthly, we're trying to help you have a good mindset of how you should be using credit, right? When the accidents happen, you should be able to bounce back with this advice. Like, I know it sounds scary and stressful being like, oh, I paid off so much and I'm in debt now, I don't know what to do. Think about it smallly. You got to pay off monthly minimums at the very least. Make a point to do that. Don't skip credit payments because that will add up. You'll be spending more money, right? And so think about that. And back to credit score, right? You might be asking, what even is credit score? What does that mean, right? Because how often do you talk about credit score, right? How often do people even know their own credit score, especially like if you're young like me?
That's a good question.
Luckily, my dad bought me a credit card and I use that and he pays it off. I don't have to pay it off myself. Very, very fortunate that I'm even in a position to do that. And a lot of people are not in a position to do that. Like, thankfully that I can do that. So while this might sound crazy because, I don't have my credit card, I still have to keep it in mind that after I have to pay off this credit card myself in the future, I have to keep up that good credit that my dad helps me build. Right?
Yeah, and I recommend, like, if it's not like your specific situation where you have a parent or guardian helping you and you're getting a credit card, I feel like you should wait until you have a consistent stream of income to get one. Because no matter what, it's a monthly bill that you will have and will have to pay no matter what. So you should definitely wait until you get a consistent stream of income before you get a credit card.
And that goes for anything that like you have to pay monthly. Like outside of credit, don't buy Spotify Premium. Don't get Hulu Plus like that. That's also a monthly bill you have to pay, right? If you don't
Those
have
are things you forget about.
Exactly. You forget about that. And then later you're like recently, I was like, why did I just get charged $10? I've been getting charged $10 for like 3 months now. Apparently I bought something I didn't realize that was a monthly subscription. And you don't realize that that's like $30 I just lost for no reason, right? And you have to have a consistently monthly income. Like, thankfully I get paid monthly from here. Like, if I didn't, what would I do with that? Like, how would I pay that back, right? How would I pay that off? So I know you might really want Spotify Premium. You might really want Hulu, stuff like that. But think about, can you pay it off? Do you have anyone who can do it with you to help you pay off? Like, pay for these monthly subscriptions? And while this isn't credit, it also might be a good way to think about how you can in the future do credit, is being like, I have to pay this monthly anyways. Let's make sure I have the money to do it first. I shouldn't do it if I don't have the money. I shouldn't be in a deficit before I do it. But also, so your credit score is a prediction the bank has to knowing how well you are to pay off a loan, right? That's what a credit score is. That's the purpose of it. That's why you have to build a good credit score, because if you are skipping months, you don't pay it off for a while, you are showing your bank that they cannot trust you with loans, which is bad because you need loans for houses, for buying a car, getting an apartment. You need loans for a lot of things. For student debt, like you need good credit score for all these things because they have to know that you will pay it back eventually.
I need some money immediately.
And so letting you know a little bit about credit's behavior and credit score is that the range that's considered good, bad, and excellent. So for bad credit, so credit goes from 300 to 850. That's the range of credit scores, right? 300 to 629 is considered to be bad credit. And then 630 to 689 is considered to be like average, fair credit. 690 to 719 is good credit. And then 720 to 850 is excellent credit. So you want to be around the good to excellent area. Most average people will be at fair to good, but you don't want to be bad. You don't want to be at bad credit.
Very cool.
And it might be hard. You know, you might be like, how do I, get good credit? Especially like I have family members who had bad credit before they have to build it back up. That's how you pay it monthly. I know it's super hard to pay it monthly. You have to have consistent income. So Jalen, what's your advice on that? What's your opinion on that? Since you get to pay it off yourself too, right? So you have a better thought process than me. Someone's talking about, I don't have to pay it off myself, but you do, right?
Yeah, I would say it's really just being aware of living within your means. And I mean, there are times where you like wild out and like, oh, I have credit. I can be a little loose, but from my experience, those times don't like help you at all. So I would say definitely, if you're young and getting a credit card, just use it as like a fail safe, or whenever you go to the store and want to get a snack. Like we said, mostly small purchases on it. Like small purchases that are within your control. If it's something that's out of your control, yes, you have to use it. And then you just have to think about, your monthly budgeting of being able to pay it back.
Exactly. And so, some like closing thoughts. What credit card do you use? Which one? Which company is your credit card on? I'm checking right now what my credit card is on.
Right now, I have a Discover, but it's because they have like a college student program. So it's like cashback perks and like they'll have like little like boosters like weekly or monthly where like you'll get more cash back if you go to like gas stations or convenience stores or whatever. So that's also like a really cool thing about credit cards is you can actually earn stuff with them by using them at those like small places where you use small purchases, whether it be gas. I believe there's like a coffee like booster too, like where you go to coffee shops, you'll get more cash back and whatnot, and you can use that cash to help pay off for your credit card. So those are really useful.
Money, this money, that profit will make me while they fat.
That's a great resource, especially for most people watching this, college students, about to go to college, just graduated college. That's a great resource right there. You said Discover what? Discover card?
It's like a Discover student card, yeah.
So yeah, check that out. Discover student card, in case you're having issues with paying off. You right? I'm on Capital One for my credit card, and also for people who don't have a credit card yet, your credit card does not have to be the same bank as your normal debit card. They don't have to be the same one, right? My debit card is Wells Fargo. My credit card's from Capital One.
We actually have the chip reader now.
Oh yeah?
Oh, it's not gonna work with that kind of
transaction completed.
What about you, Jalen?
I have like a regional branch for my debit card. But also like your credit card, it just depends on really who is gonna accept you as well, because if you're starting off, like a lot of them will go based off like your family's credit history to like decide whether or not they'll accept you. So you have to find a card that like you meet its qualifications and whatnot to be able to use it.
Yeah, exactly. Once again, it sounds so stressful before, like when I was little, I was like, oh, I don't want to get a credit card ever. But when you break it down to these things, first off, like don't worry too much about the interest of your credit card that you're getting, right?
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Like, yes, you don't want one that has like a really high monthly interest, but also, once again, you're trying to pay it off. You're trying to pay it fully off every month, so you don't have to like do a huge interest. And so if you're doing that, you shouldn't have to worry too much about it. If you're scared that you might go over with your credit card, first question what you're getting with your credit card, and then maybe try to look into a credit card that doesn't have as much of a monthly interest. But once again, you should try to pay it off. You should pay it off every month. Don't get into bad credit card debt, because once again, you don't want to get into bad credit because they might start charging you more for getting a car that would have been way cheaper if you had a higher credit score, an apartment, because they don't trust you. So you'll get worse deals. Like Jim was saying earlier about how you have less options because they don't trust you as much, and that can make things more expensive.
That's a great idea. I'm with that.
right?
Yeah. Okay. So, is this a good ending spot? Because we have given our tips and whatnot.
Yeah, I think this is a good ending spot. So, boss kids, with that information, this is how we recommend using credit cards, credit score, keeping up good credit, especially when you're young like us. This is the best time to start building your credit because you don't have to pay that much yet, right? For most people. If you have a hard situation to be good at, it's not one size fits all, but this is a general advice for college age students about how to use credit. Yeah. And so if you have any questions, comment down below. We can try to help answer you. If you have any questions about credit, any advice, put in the comment section below, right? Thank y'all for being here. Check out our social media, our socials, right? Check out our website. Check out everything. Check out our social media down below.
Come back again and tell us what else you want us to talk about.
Exactly. What do you want to hear from us, right? We have a lot of good episodes lined up. And this is the one we had today. So hopefully you'll come join us, meet the rest of our cast as well. But with that, bye, boss kids. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.